Alright, so the first time I recorded this, it went wrong, and now I have to do it a second time. So hopefully it works out a little better this time. Alright, so what we're going to talk about today are famous people who have been arrested for domestic. And the reason I want to touch on this one a little bit is because people think that this is a poor person's problem. This is a lower class, just a certain type of household, and it's not. I don't care how wealthy, poor, famous, unknown. It don't matter. This happens everywhere, and there's been a case in the news this past week. Anna and Brian, and they seemingly had everything, and nobody knew what was going on behind their closed door. And so that's why I want to talk about this a little bit. And I've done a little bit of research and found some famous people who have been arrested for domestic. And this is by no means all of them. This is just a small sample. I could have listed hundreds, but I stuck with the names that I figure people in my audience might recognize. So we're going to start out with Devon Rattray, who played Buzz in the Home Alone series. Then we have Stacey Dash, who was on Clueless. Then there was Sean Penn, who was charged with domestic while he was married to Madonna, and I believe he had two charges. He's had two charges on him. Emma Roberts was charged along with her boyfriend Evan Peters, and they both played in American Horror Story Coven. And this name, I'm not good with some names, so forgive me in advance. XXX Temptation. And this one has a little backstory to it. In October 2016, Temptation was 19 years old, and his birth name was Jose Duane Onfroy. He was charged with aggravated battery of a pregnant woman, false imprisonment, domestic battery by strangulation, and witness tampering. He denied all the allegations and claimed that the woman in question was actually beaten by another woman and, in fact, wasn't even pregnant at the time. The victim says that 2 weeks after moving in with him, he smacked her, broke her phone for complimenting another man on his jewelry. Then she said he made her pick between a barbecue pitchfork and a barbecue cleaner, and the one she chose was going to be going inside of her. And in the end, he didn't do that, but she said she passed out as he was dragging the pitchfork between her thighs. She also claimed that he threatened to kill her daily once they moved to Florida in the summer of 2016. She alleged that he headbutted her, stomped her, punched her, held her under running water, and tackled her. And in September of 2016, he went to jail for a very short time. And when he got out, he found out she had been with another man, and he put a knife to her neck. Then, when he found out she was pregnant, he threatened her again, saying, "You need to tell me the truth right now or I'll kill you." And this, um, I don't want to say this word because I don't know what it is. I've never heard it before, but it's referring to an unborn child. He then allegedly beat on her again, and a few weeks later, she ran away and went to the Miami Beach Police Department. In October 2018, a few months after his death, an audio recording surfaced that allegedly recorded him admitting that he did everything that she said. So next we have Chris Brown. He beat up Rihanna. Nicolas Cage. He pushed his wife. Charlie Sheen, who was with Brooke Mueller at the time, was charged with trying to choke her. Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman, who were married at the time, and they were both charged over a fight that started over the two of them seeing her ex on a TV show. Michael Lohan, his wife Kate Major, claimed that he attacked her and slapped her son in the face and then choked her. He was charged and he lost his minor kids over that incident. She got full custody. So next is Steven Seagal. His wife was Kelly LeBrock. She claimed abuse throughout the marriage. Tommy Lee has a couple DV charges. Ozzy Osbourne was charged in 1989. James Brown, Kevin Busey, Gary Busey, Slash was charged in 1999, and that's the only charge on his whole record is that one domestic. Tom Sizemore, Christian Slater, he served 59 days. Chad Ochocinco, if I said that right, Johnson, he's been charged twice. Nicholas Brendan, who was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Vanilla Ice has been charged with domestic 3 times. Vince Neil twice. Tito Ortiz, which I believe he was a fighter, boxer, something like that. He was charged with domestic and also assault, car theft, and burglary. Axl Rose, him and his wife, Stephanie Seymour, both claim they were victims of domestic in the divorce. He ended up paying her $400,000 in a settlement. Josh Brolin, who was in No Country for Old Men, Evel Knievel, and he was also charged with kidnapping, battery, and theft. Terrence Howard of Hustle and Flow. Tawny Contain from the White Snake videos. Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots. Rasheed Wallace, who is an NBA star. Daryl Strawberry has been charged with domestic violence twice. John Singleton, who is the director for Boys in the Hood. Flavor Flav has been charged with domestic and also charged with assault with a deadly weapon, attempted murder, and drug charges. Floyd Mayweather, O.J. Simpson, of course, And this next one really actually surprised me. It's Rick Allen, the drummer of Def Leppard. And yes, he's the one that only has one arm. So, yeah, that kind of surprised me, but that just goes to show, I mean, you really never know. It can happen behind any closed door. So, moving on, we have Jim Brown, who is an athlete and an actor. He was also charged with assault, rape, and battery. Jason Kidd, who is in the NBA. Manute Bol, if I got that right. He is in the NBA. He's from Sudan. Anyway, he is huge. He is just like giants roaming the earth, huge. I I couldn't believe how massive he was, and he was charged with punching his daughter. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to take a hit from him in no way, shape, or form. Next is Manny Ramirez, who is a baseball player. Stone Cold Steve Austin has been charged with domestic. Glenn Campbell was charged with domestic and a hit and run. Edward Furlong from Terminator 2, he was charged with a DUI, stalking, battery, and domestic. Here's another one of those names. Constantine Maroulis. He is a former American Idol contestant and Broadway actor. He was arrested in New Jersey for domestic violence. Angel Reed, who is the mother of his child, called 911 claiming that he had thrown her to the ground and kicked her in the groin. He claimed he was acting in self-defense. And I'm not real sure what happened with all that, but he was released after a short time in jail. Next, we have Tanya Harding. She assaulted her husband, Steven Silver. Randy Moss from the NFL. Eric Roberts. Lisa Robin Kelly. She was on that 70s show. She played Eric Foreman's sister. I can't think of the character's name right off the bat, but next is Tiffany from WWE. She was charged with domestic. And finishing up the list is Fabulous, who is a rapper. So that's quite a variety of names. I mean, they're all famous and well known. We've got sports, we've got country music, we've got rap, we've got actors, actresses, um, people that were a little more famous in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. I mean, it's a pretty big variety there, and it's nowhere near all the names I could have listed. But it just goes to show that this could happen to anybody, anywhere. And the only way to prevent it is with taking care of our mental health, being willing to step in and do something when we see it, and not just ignore it and turn a blind eye like society's pretty much been trained to do because nobody wants to get involved. We can write to our lawmakers. We can donate or volunteer in our local communities at shelters. I mean, there's a lot of things that anyone can do to help. So I just wanted to make this a quick one, and I'm going to jump off here, and I will talk to you guys next time.